Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon Polling, and it's with some urgency that I'm compelled to share some information with you about a company that's about to launch into Australia. Those who understand timing and positioning, leverage, and wealth creation in business will be keen to learn of this. I understand that not everyone is familiar with these terms, so I want to begin by briefly explaining wealth creation and leverage so that when I share the company launch information with you, it is understood as to why timing and positioning is upon us and why this information is so compelling. So right down to basics, we've got income, which is money that you bring in, expenses, which is money you spend, liabilities, these are things that cost you money, and assets, things that pay you money. So the traditional definition of an asset is actually a liability. For instance, something that you are paying off or own, you're most likely paying more than its capital value for it, or it is depreciating and you're most likely losing money on it. So cars, houses, and boats are all in fact liabilities, unless the house is making you money like a rental property. Then it becomes an asset. The poor and middle class, all of their income is dependent on their own efforts. So they're educated to exchange their knowledge and expertise for someone's money. On the surface, life is all very merry, but the reality of it is that their life is a roller coaster ride. The wealthy, they buy assets, something which pays you money. So investments, stocks, bonds, real estate, education, and assets that pay you, like businesses, especially passive income business assets. Mr. Warren Buffett is the wealthiest investor in America, and he started out as a teenager with not much money, but he understood the principle of wealth generation, and he placed a pinball machine into a barber's shop. The money he generated from this, he purchased another pinball machine, and then two more, and then 4, 8, 16, and then a games arcade. He did not show the people how to use the pinball machine, nor did he have to stand there hour after hour to ensure that people used it. The passive business he created was self-explanatory. The wealthy are extremely eager to find passive income businesses because it continues to pay them month after month, year after year, long after they have stopped working the business. So here's what I've learned. You cannot find these passive money incomes unless you are open to hearing about them. When you find them, be willing to research them. Be educated enough so that when the opportunity arises, you recognize it and not let it pass you by. And not allow someone who's uneducated in wealth creation to dissuade you from leveraging wealth for you and your family. Financial and investment expert Mr. Robert Kiyosaki created the cash flow quadrant to help explain the different types of businesses and people's attitudes towards money. There is a quote at the bottom of this page which states that the main reason why people struggle financially is because they had spent years in school but learned nothing about money. The result is that people learn to work for money but never learn to have money work for them. So traditionally, we leave school and we go and get a job where we spend our weeks exchanging our time for money as an employee. If we don't work, we don't get paid. Therefore, we have no leverage. Some will aspire to become self-employed and earn more money. Unfortunately, this often means that they still don't have any leverage, and effectively their job owns them, as they must now tirelessly work to maintain their income. Fewer people will go on to become business owners and then have people work for them. This is the first step in creating leverage. As J. Paul Getty quotes, I would rather earn 1% from 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Generally speaking, more people equates to more money. Then there are the investors who manage passive income, where money makes money and it's not dependent on them physically being in the room for the wealth to be generated. The combination of many people generating passive incomes is what I wanted to highlight to you here. The company I wish to bring to your attention covers everything that I've just shared with you about leverage and wealth creation involving income. So how can you become like Mr. Warren Buffett and have your own wealth strategy? Well, you need to create a passive income from leveraging your time and effort. You need to find an industry that's based on these principles, a company that has suitable products and that the people need. You must understand that timing is paramount to position yourself ahead of the gold rush that is about to occur with or without you. There needs to be a simple business process that is easily duplicatable. This is important because confused people tend to do nothing. There has to be margins, huge margins. There are a lot of companies with great products and services, but the profit margins are so small that you work tirelessly for minimum gains. So you need to find a consumable product with the highest margins. and it has to be highly consumable. Ladies and gentlemen, I found that company. The company's name is OrganoGold. It's about to launch into Australia. It has highly consumable products being coffee, tea, and other hot beverage drinks. So what do we know about coffee? Well, coffee is the second largest commodity in the world, second most consumed drink in the world. Billions of coffee is consumed in Australia every year. And the majority of the coffee that's sold in Australia is actually of the instant variety. And many franchise groups are now basing their business models upon coffee. McDonald's are very heavily pushing them a cafe brand. Why is that? People can consume 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day, but might consume 1 or 2 burgers a month. So there's more chance of a customer coming through their doors for a coffee, and whilst they're there, they might also buy a burger. Dunkin' Donuts failed in Australia. They're now reset to enter the Australian marketplace here in 2013. They've even replaced their logo, being a donut, to now it's a coffee mug. Why is that? Because, same as McDonald's, more people are more likely to come into their shop to buy a coffee, and also while they're there, they might buy a donut. Subway have also entered the breakfast market. Why? Because of coffee. They can sell coffee at breakfast time. Service stations. I fill up my car once a week or once a fortnight. However, I'm more likely to pull into a service station for a coffee, and since I'm there, I might also refill my tank. So coffee is a very easily consumed product, is in high demand, and anyone who sells coffee is set to make a lot of money. So OrganoGold realised this, and we're all about coffee. We've been around for a few years now and have already quickly spread to multiple countries. And just 2 years ago, the company's revenue was $47 million. Now it's in excess of $400 million, and by the end of the year, it's going to double again. Next year, it's expected to be more than $1 billion in North America alone. 4 of the top 6 highest income earners in network marketing history are all from OrganoGold. Why is that? That's because of margins. I'll talk about margins in a sec, but that is the most vitally important thing. The amount of distributors within OrganoGold is set to surpass 1 million by 2015. And Australia is the very next country to launch. Now, this is very explosive, it's very exciting. We're going to be the biggest network marketing company launch in Australia, but also bigger than that, we are the gateway to Southeast Asia with larger population bases in Australia. This is the growth chart showing the revenue that OrganoGold has seen. As you can see, that bell curve is on the way up. What does this mean for the Australian launch? Well, we are not a household name in Australia. That is working to our advantage, because you could probably say that 1 in 10,000 people know our name here in Australia. In the coming minutes, hours, days, and weeks, people are going to be hearing about OrganoGold by the tens of thousands. So in a couple of weeks' time, you can easily say that 1 in 1,000 people in Australia will know our name. When we launch, 1 in 100 people are going to know our names. At the end of the first month, 1 in 50 people are going to know our names. You may be the very first person amongst your circle of friends that have heard about OrganoGold. If you choose to start your association with OrganoGold today, congratulations, you're ahead of the bell curve. You're in front of the gold rush. If you wait a couple of weeks thinking, I'm just going to sit on this and just wait and see what happens, you're going to start to get propositioned by a lot of your friends and family that you never thought would even understand what OrganoGold was all about, to see if you want to come and join their organisations. Wouldn't you like to be the first person in there? That's why timing and positioning is everything in this organisation. This is from Home. They are one of the industry bodies, and they map the top 500 highest income earners in the network. So I mentioned before we had 4 of the top 6 highest income earners in network marketing history in this organisation. Our very own Mr. Holton Buggs now occupies, as of the 1st of March this year, the #1 highest income earning position in the network marketing industry. Now, there's some people on this page have actually been in their respective companies for more than 4 decades. We've been there for 4 years. That is all about margins. Not saying that any of those companies' products aren't good. There's some very, very good products there, but unfortunately the margins are not as big as the margins that we have in OrganoGold. That is why there is so much money in the compensation plan, and so many people are making a lot of money in a very short amount of time. We're also adorning the covers of many of the industry's best magazines. Now, Success from Home magazine, we've only been around for 4 years, but we have already been on the cover twice. Why is this so important? There are thousands of network marketing companies out there that would just love to have an advertisement on one of the pages of these magazines. They only produce one magazine a month, which means only 12 a year. In 4 years, we've been on there twice. How did we get to do this? Success from Home magazine, they're in business for themselves as well. They want to make sure they can sell magazines. How can you sell the most magazines? Have the most exciting content. OrganoGold is setting all the new record books right now, so why would you not want to put them on your cover and also have every feature article within your magazine pages all to do with this company? Here's an excerpt from the Direct Sales Association of Australia, one of the main industry bodies that acts as an industry watchdog and provides independent information about network marketing companies that are authorised by law to do business in Australia. The highlighted section at the bottom states the global network marketing coffee company phenomenon, OrganoGold, rumoured to be launching in Australia soon. This is a huge accolade by an industry body such as the DSAA to refer to us as a network marketing phenomenon. Now, why is timing and positioning so important? There are a lot of different network marketing companies that launch in Australia every year, most of which you never even hear about. We're set to be the biggest launch Australia has seen in over 3 decades. So far, Herbalife is top of the list. When they launched, they did $40 million worth of revenue in their first 12 months. The second biggest was Manatech, who did $20 million worth of revenue in their first 12 months. We are predicted to have a first month revenue of $4 to $5 million. We are going to blow everything out of the water here and set all the record books perfectly just suited for ourselves. Now, I've mentioned before that there's a lot of money here, everything due to the margins. So the industry, the network marketing industry, refer to our compensation plan as the king of compensation. Why is that? It's because of something called margins. There is so much margin in coffee that it allows us to pay out tremendous amounts to our independent business owners like yourself. In fact, there are 7 ways to make money, 6 of which are passive income, where you didn't have to personally distribute or sell any coffee. The margins I'm talking about were illustrated by Starbucks, who identified that 7 cents of coffee product can generate $150 in sales. This is an incredible margin. And the best part is that it is acceptable in society for the average cup of coffee to cost $3.40. So if you amplify that 7 cents to $150 example, you would arrive at $700 of an investment returning $150,000 of revenue. I'll just say that again. If you invested $700 into Starbucks, you would return $150,000 in revenue. That is the kind of markups that are available in this industry. That is what makes our compensation plan the king of compensation, and why 4 of the top 6 highest income earners in the network marketing industry are all in this company. And that's why timing and positioning is so important for you to understand, because we are just 4 years young. There are going to be a lot of people making a lot of money here in Australia from OrganoGold, with or without you. We would rather do it with you. And why wouldn't you want to be the first of your circle of friends to be part of this company launch and override a large network of people and create your own leverage and start a passive income legacy for your family? The person who invited you to view this video has an intent form that they can email you. Timing is everything in a pre-launch of a company where minutes count as people jostle for positions. As soon as you complete your intent form and it is returned to your sponsor, the sooner your leverage commences and your new life begins. So our General Manager, Mr. David Nomchung, has already commenced his pre-launch tour of Australia and New Zealand. Make sure that you not only attend this briefing, but bring as many people with you along to the event, as the information that he'll be sharing will be so compelling that you will wish you brought 10 or 100 times the number of people to put before him. I trust that you've taken something away from this about timing and positioning, leverage and passive income from this video. The future is your choice and the timing is now. Wish you all the best with all the choices you're about to make. Thank you very much.